Dr. Aseem, why General Medical Council has decided that they will not take any action against you? What is the reason?
Well, that
Against
I can't speak on behalf of the General Medical Council, Ashutosh. That's for them to make their decisions. What I can tell you is, as a doctor that has been practicing for over 20 years, who has an impeccable track record when it comes to scientific integrity and patient care through appraisals, through revalidation, I always stick to the principles of ethical evidence-based medical practice. So very recently, I published a paper in the International Journal of Insulin Resistance, which was open access paper, peer-reviewed, and my conclusions were essentially that there was enough evidence to call for a pause or suspension of the COVID-19 vaccines. Now, this was going against what both national and international guidance was suggesting, but this was, evidence-based, and my own research confirmed that I made a strong case for that. So I can't really speak on behalf of the GMC, but I suspect that they would have taken all of this into consideration. And if that is the case at the moment, certainly I've been hearing rumors, and there is some evidence, certainly recently, that the GMC had put out certainly a statement to somebody who had made a complaint against me, a doctor, for example, that they had decided that there was no real grounds for investigating me in terms of my medical license or fitness to practice. And I very much hope it remains the case. And if it is the case, certainly it's a great victory for British medicine and the right to free speech. But everything I do is always putting patients first, in keeping with scientific integrity. And if doctors do that by and large, then they should be fine.
Somebody is saying that this pandemic was all about RT-PCR pandemic. What is your opinion?
Sorry, I don't get the question, Ashutosh.
What is your opinion about this pandemic? Someone says that this was a pandemic of RT-PCR testing.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm guessing from your question, you mean as in, was this pandemic overblown, and was it all based upon maybe a faulty testing? So first and foremost, to answer the first part of the question, the rhetorical part of the question, listen, there's no doubt, Ashutosh, that it was a new situation. When the COVID pandemic started, towards the end of 2019, beginning in early 2020, certainly the virus, the Wuhan strain, was particularly devastating in the elderly and older and vulnerable groups. There's no doubt about that. The response, of course, in retrospect, probably should have meant that we had focused protection. We should have done everything we can to try and optimize the immune function of those people that were vulnerable, and to try and keep them as well protected from the virus as possible for as long as possible. And I think most people agree with that. Part of that process was the testing of obviously confirming COVID tests and all that kind of thing. And of course, there is some data suggesting there were a lot of false positives and even some false negatives. So the question is about the accuracy of the testing, and then how that testing was used even to restrict or to help people travel. Of course, in these situations, any company or a corporation is going to take advantage to maximize their profits of a particular situation that we're in. So, if the overtesting occurred, it will probably to be some degree influenced by vested interests. I have no doubt about that. But that's really just a symptom of a much bigger problem, Ashutosh, is the fact that we have, again, very powerful, big commercial entities, big corporations, whether it's food industry or the pharmaceutical industry, whose excesses and manipulations are causing tremendous damage, and they have been doing tremendous damage for many, many years, to our mental and physical health. And that's really the root of the problem that we need to address if we are going to move forward constructively, and people are going to feel confident that the information they're receiving from medical authorities is based upon the best available up-to-date evidence and is free from commercial influence.